think today's job is going to be getting into these door jambs and getting some color on them so that I can finish these off, get the doors sorted and have them back on the car so we can start doing the final block down on the bodywork and get all the panels back on, because they're kind of leaning all over the garage at the moment, which is not fun at the moment. So we've got everything covered in primer, and the areas that are primed here is what we'll be spraying with the color. Nice and simple. I just have to mask off the insides, and I probably should mask off the bodywork, because I just don't need paint and clear coat going over onto the body when I'm gonna have to sand it down anyway. But it's just gonna be less work for me if I do cover that up. And I'll mask all this off as well, because this channel will get sprayed with the final coat, not the coat on the inside of the door jamb here. So let's go see what we got to do the job. Alrighty, so the color we're using on this car is you can't really tell from the can, maybe the lid. We're going with a gunmetal grey. It's Toyota's color 1J3, I believe. So this is going to look pretty fancy on there. I think it's going to look pretty nice. I am going to add a little bit of extra pearl on top of the metallic color, which is going to be interesting. But we'll leave the door jambs as a standard metallic gunmetal grey at the moment, because they don't need to have pearl on it. So I went to super cheap. I got these two tins. They're like $36 Australian each. I got a couple of clear cans as well. I decided to get the same brand just so that we don't have any issues with paints reacting or anything like that. I got all my sandpaper there ready to go. I'm just going to sand it down by hand, wet dry 800 grit sandpaper. That's all it's going to need. A light little scuff up just to let the paint kind of bite in, and just to get rid of any extra blemishes that I've left. Fingers crossed all goes well. Let's start masking up the inside door jambs and a little bit around the side. And then I think we should be pretty good to start spraying some colour. Okay, with that all prepped now, we are ready to put some paint on. So I decided to get the pressure pack sprays. These were actually mixed up with the paint code that I gave them. Again, it was 1J3, it's a gunmetal grey. They mixed it up, put it in the can for me. It just makes doing a job like this easier with less mess. I don't have to get my spray gun out and turn the compressor on just for a door jamb, you know? So this is gonna work really well. And then once the door jamb's done, the doors can go back on, and then I'll never see it again. Now we're just going to do a very, very light dust coat of this, so I'm not going excessive. I just want it to lay even, because it is metallic. Alright, so first coat's gone on, and again it's just a very light dust coat. You can see it hasn't covered the surface completely. That's what I want. We just want to make sure this kind of goes on initially, makes a good bond, and being metallic, we do not want this to run. If it runs, we're respraying, and I don't want that. But then again, it is a door jamb, so but same rules apply. This being acrylic, or one part paint. I don't have to wait for a hardener to set. This will pretty much be touch dry, within 5 minutes. Yeah, that's already dry there. A bit tacky right there, so I reckon another few minutes and we're ready for the second coat. But this is going to come out really nice. Yeah, this gunmetal is going to be nice. So I'm happy that it's coming up a really nice dark gunmetal as well. I was a bit worried that it was going to be a bit too silvery, but this is coming up pretty good. So let's let this dry and then hit it with another coat. Alright, that's coat number 2 done, and it's showing up pretty good. So 2 coats, it's covering pretty well. Geez, that's very metallic-y. That's actually really cool. Woo! This car's gonna pop. So yeah, that's come up really good. What I'm gonna do is give it one more coat. And it's only gonna be a very light dust coat. That second coat I did was getting kind of the main color on. The first coat was just a dust coat as well. Second coat's a bit thicker. And then this final coat I'm about to give is just gonna be dusting it on. I've just a few areas like right in there I just haven't quite got properly. I'll just target with this final coat, and then the whole thing will just get dust coated so that the metallic's nice and even. And then after that, let it dry for a good 10 minutes, and we can put some clear on it. You can see those very fine particles of metallic floating around, getting in front of my camera light. Alrighty, with the clears done, I am now going to unmask it, and that's looking really good. So that's great. She's shiny. There is a little bit more orange peel in it than the base color, but that's kind of absolutely fine. If anything, if I really wanted to, just that section, I could color sand or just sand out that orange peel when it's completely dry, when the car is finished, when I could be bothered. But for now, it'll just be fine like that. So let's take the masking tape off. And we're very close to being finished with the chassis side of the door jambs. So let's get this masking tape off. Well, that's looking great. I'm glad I masked up all this area because my roof lining would have got a bit of overspray on it and that wouldn't have been fun to remove. So that's the transition. Any paint that's come up over this lip is not going to bother me because it's going to get all blocked down and sanded anyway. And then when the new paint goes on top, any imperfections through here will get feathered in. You can see why I used the tape. I'm not fussed about this bit, that'll come off, but I didn't want all this dark color right up on this edge. That's looking awesome. That's looking really, really nice. Well, now you know what color the car's going to be. So that's no secret. But like I said, for the main body, I will be doing something a little bit different on top of this metallic. Just real quick, I thought I'd change the filters in my mask. Super important to wear one of these when you're doing sanding work with bog or paint or spray or anything. That's what would have been in my lungs. So highly recommend you wear one. A good 3M one like this sets you back about 80 or 90 Australian dollars. 100% worth it, given I'd like to live. Easy to replace the cartridges and the pads. If you wanted to keep these cleaner, you could even put maybe some tissue over the top of this pad before you install it. That way you can throw out, the main junky bit a bit more often and keep this one a bit longer, but these are due for replacement because not much is getting through there anymore. But anyways, back to it. Just before I go, one final snippet. This is now the other side done as well. Looking great. Looking great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having the whole car this color. It's going to be awesome. But anyways, door jambs, as far as the chassis are concerned, are now done. Next, we'll be getting on to sorting out the doors. I've already started on one of them. It's nothing too overly complicated, just a little bit of surface rust and whatever else really. We'll see. So let's get these done next. That's done. These are looking great. I am quite happy with that. So, till the next one.